All right, this is State of Georgia versus Taj Brandon Wedlow. Mr. Wedlow is on the before the case on 2024 CR 06670 06671 and case 2025 CR 00261. Mr. Wedlow, you're before this court on battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and a violation of a family violence order. You were on before this court on the 23rd day of June to the plea. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 8 months and 3 days remaining. Your sentence was not told, but it is alleged that by the probation office that on July 11th, you were arrested for the offenses of criminal trespass and obstruction of an officer in Clayton County. You have failed to provide proof of completing an anger management program, and you are $100 in arrears. You're represented by attorney Lynch is with you. Mr. Lynch, what do you have on behalf of Mr. Wedlow?
So, Judge, at this time, we're just going to ask to go forward with the hearing and then be heard on sentencing if that does become.
All right. So Mr. William Tipton is representing the state of Georgia. Mr. Darius Austin is representing the probation office. Mr. Austin, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
I will, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Mr. Tipton?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Please state your name for the record, sir. Mr. Austin.
Darius Austin.
All right. And Mr. Austin, are you familiar with the case of 2025 CR 00261, 2024 CR 06670, and 2024 CR 6671?
I am, sir.
Okay. Is the defendant named on those cases Mr. Taj Wedlow?
That is correct.
Okay. And are you the probation officer assigned to this case?
I am, sir.
Okay. So you filed a petition for revocation of probation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So tell me about that petition. Why did you file that petition?
So I had informed by Ms. Ponder that the defendant was harassing her. She had someone doing her yard work, and she had called complaining that the defendant had been going back and forth in her yard and getting into it with her lawn care provider. And then also she had called me back later that day to inform me that he had indeed walked in front of her door and would not go away. I then informed her of her rights of what she could do, and as the probation officer, that I couldn't do anything at that time until charges had been filed. Once the charges were filed, I received them on July 11th, and I proceeded with the warrant, and therefore a warrant was taken out on the defendant for the new offenses of criminal trespass and obstruction of an officer.
What was my phone today? Oh.
Sorry, my apologies. I've got something pinging on here. Let's see. And being the probation officer assigned to this case, you filed in your petition failure to complete an anger management program. Is that correct?
Correct. That was assigned by the courts.
To this date, have you received proof of an anger management program being completed?
No, I have not.
Okay. And is he still in arrears of $100?
That is correct.
Okay. You mentioned that you had contact with Miss Ponder. Can you tell me about who Miss Ponder is?
Ms. Ponder, at the time, was the neighbor to his father, Mr. Cedric Wedlow, and she received my information from him.
Okay. And was Miss Ponder's complaint how you became aware of the new violation of criminal law?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, then. And were there any other technical violations that you're aware of?
No, not at this time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Austin. I have no further questions at this time.
All right, thank you.
Just a couple questions. I'm sorry, Judge.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, ask your questions.
Mr. Austin, prior to you filing this petition, had Mr. Wedlow reported to probation as directed?
He did report one time in the beginning once he was released from jail.
And what? So did he? So he didn't miss any reports other than those that were missed due to him being locked up on the incident that we're here about?
That is correct.
Okay. Had you discussed? Well, scratch that. No further questions.
Your Honor, I have one follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Austin, how soon, well, it's kind of multiple questions that go down one train of thought. Mr. Austin, when was Mr. Wedlow placed on probation?
His original probation was placed on June 23rd of 2025.
Okay. From what you were aware of, when did this violation of probation occur?
July 11th of 2025 in Riverdale, Georgia. Okay.
As a probation officer, using your knowledge, training, and experience as a probation officer, is it normal to get a violation of law that quickly after being placed on probation?
No.
Okay. Based on your knowledge, training, and experience as a probation officer, you consider Mr. Wedlow to return to probation?
No, he is not a good candidate for probation.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
All right.
Nothing further.
Okay. Does the state have any other witnesses to present?
Yes, Your Honor. The state has two additional witnesses, both Officer D. Rogers and Officer Lenise Ponder. State's going to call Ms. Ponder.
All right, Ms. Ponder, unmute.
Okay, I am unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have your video on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I see you. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Tipton, you're a witness. Ms. Ponder, you can put your hand down. Thank you.
Ms. Ponder. So, Ms. Ponder, you're familiar with Mr. Taj Wedlow, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you give me a little background about how you're familiar with Mr. Wedlow?
I met him through his dad when he first moved next door to me. Just seeing him out, I've always spoken to me and everything else, and his dad made me aware that his situation, and I was speaking with his dad in reference to programs here in Clayton County, which is Riverwood, that he's been trying to get his son into a facility that he have not have registered anything like that of my knowing. So I speak with Mr. Tajay being outside. He asked me can I bring some things back from the store when his dad at work or whatever, which I did do. And he started, after I started noticing him going around my neighborhood, around my house, towards my window, standing in front of my door, being harassing to my lawn care guy on several incidents when people come and do stuff for me, just being an outburst. And then he got arrested back in June, Mr. Tajay, from being harassing. And I have videos of this also of Mr. Tajay, and I told him that's not respectable. When I caught him in front of my door, again, he's choose to come back and just stand directly in front of my door. He called the police to my residence and saying that I was deceased in my house, that I was calling his phone. I never knew his phone number. I asked his dad, why did he give him my phone number? I told his dad I wasn't trying to press charges on him when I spoke with him back in April, but Tajay still continued to do harassing things to my residence after he was warned by the Riverdale police to stay off my premises, and he still chooses to do that. At 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd be out having outbursts saying, "Bitch, come outside." He'll do something to me, that's not my name, so he wasn't talking to me.
Okay, I want to draw your attention specifically to July 11th of 2025. Can you tell me about what occurred on that day, please, ma'am?
Yes, he came in front of my door on several times, walked around my house. He stood directly in front of my door. I have videos of that. So I said, I'm gonna call the police. I don't want to call the police on you, Tajay, but I'm gonna call the police on you.
Mm-hmm.
I talked for a long time. My granddaughter got threatened because she went to the mailbox. That's when he saw somebody come at my house. He came back on my premises several times. I said, "You're being very disrespectful to me right now." He said he don't fear the police. So I called his dad and told him, I said, I'm gonna have to call the police on your dad, your son, because he said, do what you got to do, Miss Ponder. And that's what I did. And at that time, Riverdale police came, and I said, I'm gonna press charges on you this time. And he started fighting with the officer. I have videos of that where they had to handcuff him, his feet in his hands, because he was fighting with the police officer.
Okay, when you say he was fighting with the police officer, could you describe that to me?
When they were trying to bring him out the house.
I got you.
Yes.
But what type? When you say he was fighting, do you mean that he
physical contact with the police officer when they was asking him to calmly come on out?
Can you describe the physical contact to me?
Taji was throwing his hands up before they was able to get handcuffs on him, because it took 3 officers, and one of the dark-skinned officers that I gave the water to was actually the one that Taji had more contact with, and that's when they tased him in the house coming out the door, and that's when they ended up putting handcuffs on his feet also, because they had to put handcuffs on his feet and his hand to get him in the police car.
Okay, so walk me backwards a little bit. That day, you started by saying that he was ringing the doorbell. Is that correct?
No, he was going around my house, standing directly in front of my door. I have a door on my step. He didn't ring my bell. He stood right there in front of my door, walking past my window.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then he stood directly in front of my door. I told my granddaughter to come back in the house because she went to check the mailbox. I said, come back inside the house, and I go check it. But every time somebody come at my house, he would come to on my premises.
Okay, then. So, and then what happened? Walk me through what happened step by step.
And I called the police. I tried to talk to Tajay when he walked past my window again. I said, Tajay, you're being very disrespectful to my premises right now. I tried to talk to him. I said, I don't want to press charges on you. And he said, well, I'm hungry. I even gave him something to eat. I had my granddaughter put a plate outside, and I gave him a plate of food. I said, you're being very disrespectful right now. I said, but I'm going to call the police on you and press charges on you. And that's when he said, he don't fear threatening charges of the police.
Okay. So you mentioned that they had to take him out of your house.
No, out of his dad's house. Because every time the police come, he'll run back in the house.
Okay. Okay. So had you previously told him not to enter onto your property?
Yes, sir. He was filed on criminal in April when I called the police on him.
Okay. Okay.
And it wasn't just me that he was harassing. He harassed several people out in the neighborhood.
I have no further questions at this time, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Lynch?
Just a few questions, Ms. Ponder. You described behavior that you witnessed from Mr. Wedlow on July 11th. You also described having spoken to him previous to that, right?
In reference to, repeat that again, I'm sorry.
Let me ask a better question. Prior to July 11th, you had some conversations with Mr. Tajay Wedlow standing next to me.
Yes, sir.
And any of those conversations, well, when you have spoke to him, he wasn't always harassing or threatening or confrontational with you, was he?
More. He's always been hyper. I've always had him to ask him to tone the volume down, tone it down. He's very been hyper, and he said he's gonna go get some help. And because actually, his dad was introduced me that he needs to get some mental help and some other substance abuse help.
Okay.
And yes, and I even gave him some places that his dad said he was very aware of in Clayton County that he's supposed to be dealing with. He was on probation, and that's how I got the probation officer number through his dad. And I said, I don't want to press charges on him. I just want him to get some mental and substance abuse help.
Okay.
Because see, I saw him several times leaving at the house on several occasions. And I do have some evidence in my possession because I do home demolitions that I found in the residence of Mr. Whitlow.
And so you had discussed with Mr. Wedlow, Riverwood as a potential place where he could get treatment for mental health.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir, I did, because of the fact that I was told that he was supposed to be going and get some assistance, and he did admit that he was on some drugs, because he called the police after I called the police and said he needs some substance abuse help.
And what you just mentioned, those phone calls, to your knowledge, was that on July 11th, or are we talking?
Yes, sir, that was July 11th.
Okay. And from your personal observations of Mr. Wedlow on that day, based on your experience, did it seem that he was having mental health struggles at that time?
No, sir, it was more substance abuse issues.
Okay. Could it have been both?
It could have been a mixture of both.
Okay.
But he normally don't act like that. I've seen him when he's on a different level than calm, but you can always tell the difference when he act, because he get more aggressive and he cusses so many people out, even in the neighborhood, when you notice he has substance abuse, and both mental and substance abuse.
Okay. And just on July 11th, was that the day, or were you talking about a previous day when you had actually retrieved some items for him at his?
No, this was just recently, because like I said, I do demo. I do know the homeowner, and I do clean the property up. He pays me. Yes, sir. And I just, like I said, I cleaned the house up and found some stuff that I kept on my possessions of evidence, and the owner didn't have a problem with me keeping it.
Okay. And then in reference to you relayed an incident where you had provided Mr. Wedlow with something to eat. Was that on July 11th?
Yes, it was on July 11th and past. Back in May, I actually went to the store and bought some chips and some lunch meat. I sure have. Yes, sir. I feed anybody.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. No further questions.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I have a couple additional questions.
Go ahead, Mr. Tipton.
Thank you. So, Ms. Ponder, you mentioned Riverwood, and that you suggested Riverwood and a few different things that Mr. Wedlow could do to get some help. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then. So, how are you aware of these things?
Okay, I worked over 19 years on Fulton County Sheriff Office as a supervisor, and I'm aware of all the drug treatment programs throughout Clayton County, Fulton County, all the jurisdictions here in Georgia. I'm very familiar with those. Yes.
Okay, so walk me through that a little bit more. What are your professional qualifications that would give you a little insight about whether or not someone was on drugs versus mentally ill?
Okay, you can actually tell that they act more assertive and aggressive. With that being said, you can tell from just my experience and seeing them, they're more. You can tolerate them more. They'll listen to you. But actually, I know Mr. Tiggio, how he has outbursts and start cussing his dad out early in the morning time. Like I said, I recorded a different, and he's very calm, because he even asked me, can I help you outside in the yard? And I asked him, are you okay? How's your day? And I noticed that, and when he's actually, my yard guy comes, anybody come to my house, and he has outbursts with them.
Okay. So I want to ask you just super quickly, this will be my last couple questions.
No problem.
So do you have any concerns regarding Mr. Wedlow being released?
I do at the present time, because I know that him getting out, he have let me down, and I'm sure his dad also, throughout the things that he continued to do, and he have not met any of the Judge Hayward's recommendations and the probation recommendations for him to get help. He gets out and he's turn around and be doing the same thing over. He's not getting help that he's need.
Okay. And I specifically want to ask, do you have any concerns for yourself and your person?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because of the fact that I told his dad, in reference to that, with him coming, this is the last known address and stuff like that. And I think that Mr. Tiggio, with me seeing him leave at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I have different assignments or whatever, I see him leave and come back, and he'd be outside, sitting in his dad, one of his dad vehicles. I don't know what he'd be doing, but to see him, because I'm always looking at my window and seeing him.
Okay, and then let's go a little more broadly. Do you have any concerns regarding the general community?
Yes. I mean, with my community right now, yes, because he had gotten to it with so many people out here, and he's not getting no help for himself that he needs.
Okay, so based on your knowledge and just your knowledge, are you aware of Mr. Wedlow getting any type of help?
He has not got any help. Based on me and his dad conversation, he has not reported anywhere trying to get any help. I even told his dad I would be willing to call around for him, since he said he worked in the daytime. I was willing to call to find some facilities here, because I know Clayton County is limited to some of their drug facilities, to get him help. But he kept harassing me. So at this point now, I don't feel comfortable with him.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lynch, anything else?
No, thank you, Ms. Ponder.
Okay, Ms. Ponder, you're free to go at this time. If you wish to stay, just mute your device, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does they have another witness to call?
Yes, Your Honor. Officer D. Rogers. Officer Rogers with Riverdale PD, please turn your camera on, turn your volume on, and raise your right hand.
I'm gonna need Officer Rogers to pull over.
I'm getting ready to now. That's what I was just getting ready to say. I gotta safely pull to the side here just for a minute.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on, Officer Rogers. I know you're busy and on duty.
No problem. I appreciate y'all's patience.
No problem.
Okay.
All
Sorry
right,
about that, Your Honor.
no problem. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Tipton?
Yes. Officer Rogers, I want to draw your attention to July 11th of 2025. First off, how are you employed, sir?
I work as a officer for the City of Riverdale Police Department.
And being a police officer for Riverdale, are you post certified?
Yes.
And being post certified, are you authorized to investigate crimes, issue citations, and make arrests based on your investigations?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. So I want to draw your attention to July 11th of 2025. Were you working on this date?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have occasion to go to 810 Pixley Drive in Riverdale, Georgia?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you go there, sir?
So there was a disturbance situation going on that my partner, Officer Hernandez, initially was the officer responding out there to, and he requested backup. So I went out there, and he informed me that this particular subject, Mr. Wedlow, did like to fight and physically resist officers. So he told me we were going to have to fight with him, being that that's what his aggressive behavior was and his manners were. So he told me that he had, trespassed onto Miss Ponder's property, and he had already been criminally trespassed before and everything. So the decision that was made was that he wanted to place Mr. Wedlow under arrest. So that's what we proceeded onto the residence of 810 Pixley Drive to do.
Okay. Did it go smoothly? Did putting Mr. Wedlow under arrest, did that go smoothly or no?
No, it did. It did not. It went completely opposite of how I thought it would have went. But that involved us, attempting to make contact. We knocked at the door, We spoke with the father initially at the door. Mr. Wedlow was kind of like, back a little bit from the door. So we were talking to him. Officer Hernandez was, talking to him, letting him know like, hey, come on, he's basically placing him under arrest, wanting to take him to jail and stuff like that. He started outbursting, I'm not going to jail. Y'all not finna take me, this, that, and the third, basically telling us he's not going. So after a brief moment of being at the door, doing that, the dad steps to the side, allowing us to come in, and he balled his fist up and he was just standing there like that's an aggressive posture towards us. So we went to proceed to try to go ahead and place him under arrest. He pushes away from us and runs down the hallway, and then when he runs down the hallway, I immediately, like I said, or I don't know if you read the report, but immediately, I had took my taser out and I turned it on because I'm not sure if he has any weapons or he's trying to get to anything. So we're trying to prevent that. He stops, he turns around, charges back at me. I put the taser away and grabbed him. He still tried to charge past me and push, Officer Hernandez. And then at that point, I was able to get my taser back out and successfully deploy it. And we were able to get him down to the ground. And after moments of struggling and fighting with him, we were able to get him in handcuffs, and he was still throwing himself around and just flailing his body, trying to stop us from getting him safely outside and into the car.
All right. So I actually have the report, and you mentioned in the report that you had to perform what's called a dry stun. Can you tell me what a dry stun is?
So what that is after the prongs from the taser are deployed, a dry stun involves me bringing the taser close to his body, placing it on his person, and then arcing the taser that way to achieve his muscles locking up so we can get the handcuffs safely on him, because he was still physically resisting, pulling his hands away from us, saying he's not giving up, he's not going to give us his hands. And yeah.
Okay, and to do a dry stun, you have to be right up on someone. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he still struggling while you were right up on him?
Yes, he was. He was turning. He was not trying to give us his hands after receiving multiple commands to give us your hands. And he still refused to do so. He tucked his hands inside and would not give his hand up.
And once you placed him under arrest, did it continue? Can you walk me through what happened between getting him in the car and getting him booked into the jail?
So once we got him in handcuffs and everything, finally, we got him up and started to take him out of the house. He still was trying to grab and hold on and throw his body in weird ways to prevent us from safely getting him out. Once we finally did get him out, we were trying to get him into the car. He's dropping his body. He's not trying to get up. He's just basically dead weighting himself, so we can't get him into the car. He was kicking, so we got the leg shackles to put on him so we could limit that. And we finally got him in the car. During the course of all of that, fighting with him and doing all of that, I did injure my right ankle in the process from dealing with him doing that. So we got him into the back of Officer Hernandez's car and transported him to the jail on what they call a rush or a ramp call, just letting them know that, hey, we have a combative subject or, an aggressive subject that we're bringing into the jail, just, giving them a heads up.
Okay. What was Mr. Wedlow charged with on the 11th?
As far as I know, the criminal trespass, and I'm not sure if criminal trespass, obstruction ×2, for me and Officer Hernandez, and I'm not sure if he charged him with assault or not for kicking and all of that stuff there.
Okay. Are you familiar if that? Are you aware if that was misdemeanor or felony obstruction?
I believe he put it as misdemeanor obstruction. I'm not sure how he did it.
Okay. Thank you, officer. I have no further questions at this time.
Okay.
Officer Rogers, was your investigation captured on your body cam?
Yes, my body cam was active on that day.
And based on your training and experience as a law enforcement officer, did it seem to you that Mr. Wedlow was having mental health struggles at that time?
To me, I didn't recognize anything right off the bat that, screamed out front that it was a mental episode or a mental breakdown or anything. No, that wasn't nothing, to stand out at that particular time. But I was, like I said, advised by my partner that he did like to fight officers, and there was an issue with mental illness with him, his history. That's all I was made aware of, because that was my first time having to deal with him in that manner.
Okay. No further questions.
No further questions from the state, Your Honor. State rests at this time.
All right, may this officer be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Be safe.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Does the defense have any witnesses to present on behalf of Mr. Wedlow?
Judge, I don't believe so. Could I just have one moment to talk to Mr. briefly?
All right, mute your device. Yes, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I have advised Mr. Wedlow about his right to remain silent in this case, and I have specifically advised that he exercise that right due to the pending charge, which may be a felony. However, Mr. Wedlow does wish to address the court, and I'm not, and so that's where we are, Judge.
All right, Mr. Wedlow, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, put your hand down. You've spoken to your attorney about your constitutional rights to remain silent, correct?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And your attorney has shared his advice about you, whether you should or should not testify. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that nobody can make you testify or promise you anything to get you to testify?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. And you understand that you have the right to remain silent and that anything that you say can be held against you by this court or by the prosecutor or anyone else who listens to this hearing?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. And you still want to testify?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll find that your testimony is willingly and voluntarily given. Go ahead, sir.
And Your Honor, I want to confirm.
All right. Hold on. Mr. Lynch said, what was it, Mr. Lynch?
Actually, Your Honor, I'm just going to let him say what he feels he needs to say, and then I may have one question for him at the end of that.
All right, Mr. Tipton, did you have a question?
Yes, I just want to confirm that this is being taken down and on the record.
I'm recording it, and we do have a court reporter present.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wedlow.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. How you doing? Thank you. I would like to say, first and foremost, I am paranoid schizophrenic, and I do have a substance problem, and I reached out to the jail about it. Also, in fact, I have not, in terms of these allegations, committed these charges as well. Simple fact being that I actually was going through something when the police came, because they just came and offered a verbal warning first. Then they came back 5 minutes later. So I'm in a state of shock and awe, wondering what's going on and why are they coming in the house. I actually did not resist in a aggressive manner, because I'm feeling it's unlawful, it's wrongful and unlawful, especially how I was treated during the process of being detained. I was actually, I I have lacerations on my body from being tased, and actually know for a fact that my privacy right, and most foremost, I I if she even has the messages I sent her, it's all about me being uh uh um not a nurturer. What's it called? I'm overprotective of women because I have no idea what goes on around me, especially with suspicions and everything of that nature. So what was going on with that, I can't lie. The officers told me to stay away. Yes, sir. But when I seen that day was an opportunity to apologize, and I seen that it wasn't illegal. I was doing some research. Was it illegal to apologize to someone? And when she was responding, when she gave me the plate, I'm thinking everything's okay. That's when then the police came afterwards. So I wasn't fighting the police. I was actually trying to figure out what's going on. Like, you just came and said a wrongful arrest. I mean, you just came and said I'm issuing a verbal warning. Then 5 minutes later, come back and say, "Oh, we have to take him to jail." Now we have to take him to jail. So that's just a portion of what I really wanted to say, because I'm kind of not frantic, but jittery right now, because I don't want to disrespect the court in any way, or
Yeah, about that. Yeah, because they like, I don't know. I think they gotta come out and give me the paperwork.
Mr. Cedric Wedlow, you're not
I
muted,
muted
sir.
Go on.
Okay.
and I just everything to be resolved, because this is not what I wanted. When I took my plea to handle business how I was supposed to be handled, this is not what I wanted. I made the mistake. Yeah, but I feel like these charges are false accusations because of the situations, how they went, and how they portrayed in the circumstance. Like, I'm not how someone can be warned and then automatically, and I didn't say, I was just like, I just was verbally assertive, but I wasn't physically trying to resist, because I'm not known for resist fighting officers, whatever. Any of the times I've been arrested, and it's been a few, I've never fought officers or anything of that nature. Your Honor, sorry, man. I should have asked how you was doing. That's what I wanted to do first. Ask you how you was doing today.
I'm fine, Mr. Wedlow. I'm sorry to see you before me again, but I'm fine. What's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted, because I'm not an offender. I made a mistake, but I'm not an offender, and I just wanted to be known, like, I wasn't coming at Ms. Ponder in any sort of way. I hope she can forgive me if she took it in a negative, because I texted her and I told her, like, who I am and what I'm about, and I'm overprotective of women, like, because I grew up a certain way. I don't want to pity party, but it's just I feel like if y'all would just help me, if I know it, that I thank you.
Mr. Lynch?
Just Mr. Wedlow, are you willing to, if an opportunity was provided, are you willing to enroll in counseling or seek treatment for mental health issues?
Right now.
Okay. That's the only question I have at this point, Judge.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the state, or any questions from the state for Mr. Wedlow?
Nice, nice. Can I say one more thing too, Your Honor, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Wedlow?
Thank you. To the for the probation aspect of it, I forgot. That was I said he said a date, and I know it was the 25th, and he talked to my father, and I was fearful because I didn't know what was going on. So I should have just came to him, seek guidance from him like I was asked to. Yeah. So yes, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Tipton, did you have any questions?
No questions, Your Honor. I think the court's heard enough.
All right. Does the defense have additional witnesses or evidence to present before the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Argument?
State will reserve, Your Honor.
Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I just wish to be heard on sentencing, Judge.
Go ahead. I don't even know what the recommendation is, so y'all tell me.
Your Honor, given this time and the statements that we heard, he currently has 7 months and 20 days remaining on probation, and that was taken away from the 90 days that he was originally supposed to serve on this sentence. So at this time, we are requesting that the 7 months and 20 days be revoked in this case closed.
All right. Mr. Lynch?
Judge, so I'm inclined to ask for him, but I believe it's going to sentence as you feel is appropriate based on the facts that you've heard. So what I would ask the court to consider is that if we are able to get Mr. Wedlow signed up for any kind of mental health treatment, whether that be inpatient or anything that would be appropriate to his situation, that the court would entertain a modification of the sentence to allow him to do that. If I can, if myself and any other resources that can be brought to bear can make that happen for Mr. Wedlow.
All right. What's the state's position on this hearing?
Your Honor, state's going to request that the balance be revoked. We've heard on this through this hearing that the victim in the new case is currently scared of Mr. Wedlow, that Mr. and make contact with Mr. Wedlow's new charges, and the officer wasn't 100% familiar with it, but his new charges are actually felony obstruction. Based on the contact he had with the police officers. Mr. Wedlow said that he knew he wasn't supposed to go back there, but he still went back there. He said he only went back there to apologize because he didn't think it'd be illegal to apologize, but he still went someplace he shouldn't have. And my fear, Your Honor, is that in trying to do maybe self-help or to make some kind of movement in his life, he's going to end up hurting someone. And I don't think that it is in the community's interest at this time to give Mr. Wedlow any more chances at probation. The victim in the new case informed us that she's informed him about the help that he could get, and he hasn't taken it. Mr. Austin has informed us that that Mr. Wedlow has not taken the anger management class, even though that would have helped him as well. The only thing that I think that I can agree with Mr. Wedlow at this point is that he made a mistake, but I'm concerned that that mistake is going to cause Miss Ponder or someone else in the community serious harm. And for that reason, the state's going to ask for the balance to be revoked and case to terminate upon completion of that time.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
So Judge, my request to the court still stands, and obviously that would be subject to the court's approval. I would ask that be placed in the order. Judge, I would point out that he did have a not too much time on probation before the new arrest and that he had reported as directed. Judge, he has expressed to me willingness to go to Riverwood. I know that there were discussions with his father about making that happen. I believe prior to his arrest, but certainly since the arrest. Judge, mental health issues, that they don't just go away no matter what is ordered. And unfortunately, in a situation where someone is not getting the appropriate treatment, they can't necessarily predict when these issues are going to happen. I don't think it's really in dispute whether Mr. Wedlow has serious mental health issues, whether that's complicated by substance abuse or not. It is still something that would benefit the community from him getting a hold of that. And so I just am asking the court to, with whatever sentence, assuming you're finding that he violated his probation, whatever sentence you give, you either place in the order that it can be modified, or you at least entertain a modification if I can get him into a program.
All right. After a hearing where both sides presented witness testimony, the court finds that defendant has violated his probation by committing new offenses, by having aggressive and harassing conduct with a neighbor, and by failing to take classes ordered by the court. Defendant shall have the balance revoked and shall serve day for day due to the number of individuals who have expressed fear of the defendant. I'm sending it over.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And does the court take a position on whether you would entertain that modification that was requested?
If he has a modification that requires him to serve in an inpatient program that lasts longer than the sentence, I will entertain that modification, but it has to be inpatient. Not Mr. Wedlow can't be walking around. There are too many people who have expressed concern about his behavior and his repeated behavior. All right, so I believe that is our last case we have on this calendar. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.